Hey everybody, it's Dina Rico with the Creativity Cave. I am super excited to welcome you to another edition of Friday Quickie Techniques and Tips. I have some awesome tips and techniques to share with you using our watercolor pencils. I'm so jazzed about these pencils because they are so much fun to use and the possibilities with them truly are endless. So let me show you some of the things that I've been working on. First of all, I've got a bunch of samples to share with you, but I want to start with this one. This is a card that I made using the stamp set Beautiful You. I love this set. In fact, the funny thing is I kind of hated it at first. I have to share this with you. So I was a display stamper for Stampin' Up. I know I've mentioned this before. And when they sent me this set, it came like this. So I couldn't even see the images because they didn't even have the sheets printed yet because, you know, we get these ahead of time from the catalog coming out. So long story short, I didn't even know exactly what I had. And then I looked at it and I was like, ladies, that's just not me, I gotta tell you. But I have really grown to love this stamp set. In fact, I did an online class with it. It's still available if you check out my blog. The link is in the description of this video right here. And I just love the cards that I've been making with them. And I think the big thing that I love about it is these watercolor pencils. They are so amazing. So let me show you some of the techniques I've come up with. And they're kind of fun because most of them have resulted in me just messing around with my pencils. And I think those are some of the best techniques and ideas that you end up with. So anyway, I want to share with you how this card comes together because it's pretty dang easy. I think you're gonna like it. So first of all, I'm using my watercolor pencils. I've picked out a little rainbow spectrum here, and I'm just going to lightly kind of draw some lines on my cardstock. Now I'm using watercolor cardstock, and that is really kind of key, I think, to having a lot of success with these pencils, is making sure you're using the watercolor paper, just because everything blends so amazingly and it's really easy to hide your mistakes and get water doing what you want. Now, the other thing I will say is every time you do this, you get a little bit different look. So my card may not look exactly like this background, but this is what I did to get this background here, and we'll just kind of see. So I'm going to take my Stampin' Spritzer, and I'm going to spritz this. I would say I've got a good 12 inches here, and I'm going to move this out of the way just because I don't want to ruin it. You never know. And so I'm just spritzing. Okay, I got a little closer. Just spritzing a little bit on here. Okay, and you can see the colors are kind of running. Now, if you want, you can sort of help them along a little bit. I really like seeing the colors sort of mix and blend, but I also kind of want to help it just a touch. So I'm just going to kind of scribble over this, as you can see, lightly, but you can see I've got colors kind of pooling in different places, and I love it. Now, here is the important part of this. You gotta let it sit aside and just be. Okay, we'll just set it over there. The thing about this is if you continue to the next step before it's dry, then you won't get the cool effects. Plus, you'll have blending, and that's never good. Now, if you are impatient and want to speed the process up, you can. That's what heat tools are for. But you want to be a little careful because part of what I love about this is the pooling water, and your heat tool can kind of take that away. But we gave it a good shot. Now, as I compare this to the first one I did, I think I colored just a little darker on here than I did on this one. And if I wanted to add more color, I can certainly do that. Because to be honest, I'm not happy with the results I have right here. So let me bring in some scrap paper and show you what I mean by that. So I can take and scribble some color. You can see, you know, depending on how hard you color, you get much more or much less color. So I could add a little like that. Okay, it's easier to add the color on a scrap, by the way, than it is to go right on to your cardstock, just because once, I'll show you, well, this is working okay. Once it's wet, it does not want to blend, but if it's dry, then you're okay. So I'm just adding a little bit more color to this. Okay, and then I think we might just actually spritz again, because I do like the spritzed look. I like how it kind of blends. There we go. But I'm going to help it along the way as I did before. You want to change, or you want to get the color off between so that, you know, your green doesn't turn blue and your yellow doesn't turn green and whatnot. Okay, there we go. Now I'm seriously going to leave that one alone. Okay, we'll leave it be, and we're going to come back and assemble this once it's totally dry. Now, I want to show you another card that I did, and well, actually, let me show you the piece that started it off. So I started with this piece, and I just kind of started with this orange swirl, and I was just kind of playing like this and just coloring, and then I just kind of kept going on and on and on and adding to it, and this is what I came up with. And I think this is cool, but I don't really like it. Like, it's all right. But then, let me show you what I did. Then I tried again, but I simplified things a little bit, and I just started with a circle like this with yellow. And then I continued with an orange band. And then I continued with, let's see, I think I did Calypso Coral Band. Or no, maybe it's red. Well, maybe, I don't know. It doesn't matter. And all the bands are roughly the same size. Okay, then I did pink. And I kind of like to draw the first one so you can get it the way you want it. And then I filled it in like so. And depending on how good you are at these circles, you can just keep going like that. But then I'll keep going with purple. This is Rich Razzleberry. Okay. And I kept going and kept going and kept going. I think you get the idea. And are you ready to see what happened? Well, actually, let me show you one more part of this. So then to color these, by the way, I like to use a little rag when I'm watercoloring to switch out colors. What I did to color these is I did one section at a time. You can even, depending on how careful you want to be, you can even let them dry in between, but that might take a long time. I'm too lazy. I need to get things going here for that. But I colored each section individually like that. Then I moved on to the next one so that you would get kind of distinct bands. I didn't want them all blended. I wanted them to be distinct bands just because I kind of like the look. Now, of course, you can play with this and do all kinds of things and change it up from what I did. But I kind of liked, like, do you see the dark edge between the colors? I kind of like that look as I was going, so I kind of kept with it. That's why I did that. Okay, so now when you keep doing all of that, this is what you end up with. Oh, so you can see I have all the bands blended, and I did mess with them a couple times. Like, I let it dry, and then like I'd see areas where they weren't quite blended, so I'd come back. But I did all of those bands, and then what I did is I cut some of the big letters. So these are from the Letters for You bundle. So I took the dies from this set, and I cut them in both black cardstock and black fun foam. So then what I did with the cardstock layers is I am looking, here we go, I took my gold Wink of Stella, and then I just colored right on top of these with my gold Wink of Stella, and look at how awesome that looks. I'm not going to keep doing it, but you can see. Look at how awesome that is. And then I just adhered the letter, the die cut cardstock piece, to the die cut fun foam piece. And when you do that, it gives you a nice thickness to your card. But of course, it's not so thick that you can't mail it. So it's awesome. And then I stamped "You Are Totally Awesome" underneath. That is from the Grateful Bunch stamp set. By the way, all the supplies that I use will be posted in my blog or in the comments or the description of this video. There'll also be links to my online store because, of course, when you shop with the Creativity Cave, you become a VIP rewards member, and I love to take good care of my VIPs. All right, now I think we are almost dry here, which is awesome. I'm going to let it sit just a little bit longer. Let me show you some other things that I've done. I kind of recommend just taking, in fact, I'll even show you my stack. And I have a stack of watercolor paper, and I just kind of cut them to the right size. This is like a trimmed quarter sheet of cardstock, so this is probably like 3 3/4 by 5 roughly. And then I did all kinds of different techniques. For instance, this one, I just drew polka dots. So I literally just took and drew circles on here, then I blended them with my blender pen, or I'm sorry, my aqua painter. You could use your blender pen. I prefer my aqua painter personally, but it's up to you. And I had such a blast making this. If you had a stencil, of course you could use your stencil and just draw with the stencil, and that would be great. We used to have the polka dot one. So this was fun, and then I just added some glimmer paper, and let me show you the inside because the inside is super cute too. So these are also polka dots just drawn right onto the girl with her dress. So celebrate in style. Isn't that fun? And then on my Facebook Live video earlier this week on Monday, I did this one, and you can see this Facebook Live video on my blog. If you go to my blog, the recording is available. It's also in my YouTube channel, so if you want to check that out, you can see it. It's a lot of fun. And then here is another one that I did. This one, I just kind of scribbled different colors and then blended them all out onto my cardstock. This is all of these, by the way, use watercolor cardstock, every single one of them. And then I just kind of layered it up. So I really like how that came out. Now let's come back to our very first one, and I think it's about dry. We're going to finish it off just to help it along. But I love these little lines you get from the water just sort of blending out. I think that's super fun. Okay, so to finish this off, I'll bring back my sample again so you can see it. I'm going to use some basic gray archival ink. I got some all over myself, so I'm going to wipe it off before I stamp. And then I will take my lady, and we will stamp her kind of down here towards the bottom. And she looks so pretty. And then we will also stamp "So Happy for You" up here. And there it is. So that looks great. Now I will turn this over, and we're going to adhere it to a layer of cardstock, if I can find my fast fuse. And I do think that these ladies, and I love especially the sayings that come with it, the sentiments included in this stamp set, are outstanding. Now in my online class, one of the things that comes in the online bundle of products is this printed paper. This is from Cupcakes and Carousels. Love this paper. It is amazing. I highly recommend it. But my online class also shares some really fun techniques using these watercolor pencils for this beautiful you, so I really recommend it. And in addition to the beautiful you, I also have online classes in a whole bunch of other stamp sets. And I also have a card buffet, which I do monthly here at the Creativity Cave, where there are 10 cards, and then they're all different stamp sets, but I also offer suggestions on how to incorporate the stamps you have into those cards in case you don't have everything I've used. So it's a really great value to get all those different ideas and card layouts. So there you have it. Is that not just awesome? Oh my gosh. I love how cute this card turned out. So again, check out my blog for the details. If you need to order, I would so appreciate your business. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you again soon. Bye, guys.